school Mom went to is the same one Day goes to. I applied to KISS, and I got in.
Did I just let my youngest daughter go to Korea to have sex with her boyfriend?
No. Maybe.
It's really interesting that you've gone from the side character to now the lead. What do you think were the challenges for you personally in kind of defining and reshaping this new version of Kitty that we're seeing now?
Yeah, it's definitely, I've been saying it feels like you're seeing an old friend that you know well, but you also haven't seen them in years, and you like need to relearn them and re-meet them. So it's definitely, that's like my favorite way to sum it up, because it honestly was like things that I wanted to keep that spirit of Kitty that we know and Kitty from the movies, but also it's been many years and she's in high school now and we're seeing brand new dynamics. So finding those little things was really fun and honestly just exciting to have the opportunity to come back to a character that I love so much.
Was there something in particular that you noticed, like a change in Kitty, that you were key to kind of get through to the audience?
I think she's kind of, I mean, in middle school in the movies, she was very, very confident in herself and did not at all let anyone like sway her in any way. And I think now as a teenager and she's in high school, and I mean, it definitely shakes later in the season, but even when we first meet her, it's definitely not as strong as it was, I think, before. And then by the end of the season, it's definitely not as strong. She feels very unsure about a lot of things, but that's kind of what she's learning, that's okay. And that's kind of part of growing up. But that would be the most obvious shift, I would say, for me.
Yeah. I was going to say, like you said, Kitty has always been, to us, so bold and so self-assured in herself and very outspoken, especially when it comes to romances. So to see her kind of doubt herself and struggling with her own feelings is really different. What was it like to explore that side of Kitty?
I mean, I love that it just kind of shows that love is not something you can always predict and always plan. It can be very unexpected, and that's also what makes it so exciting. And for Kitty, she definitely has that big realization of like, this is what I like was part of who I was. It was someone that like I knew love. I knew what this was. This was my territory, and now things are not as expected and not the same as she thought, which I think is just like part of, you know, a lot of people's stories in different ways. There are times where things do not go as planned and things do not go the way you think they will, and that's just a great message that I hope a lot of people can find comfort in, that it's happening for many people around them.
I wonder if it makes her connect with Lara Jean a lot more, in the sense of they both have, now she understands what it's like to kind of doubt yourself or have those kind of insecurities.
Totally. There are moments in the season that she's like, oh my God, I'm turning into LJ. Or she's like, oh my God, this is like what I used to tell her about. Or like that realization of, I mean, I have an older sister and there's things like that with us too, where I will now want to do something or now say something. She's like, you used to like attack me for that. You used to make fun of me for that. And now you're doing it. And I'm like, that's like, you sometimes have to come to that stage yourself to realize it. And Kitty's definitely having those like LJ parallel moments where she's like, oh my God, I used to think this was so stupid, or I used to not understand it, or I used to whatever. It's like, now it's my turn, and now she gets it. So I hope she can like go back and be like, LJ, I'm sorry that I made fun of you for it. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's me now.
Were there any other Easter eggs within Exo Kitty that fans would really love to know about from like the history of the movies?
I know that people really picked up on this and got really excited that Kitty confirms that Lara Jean and Peter are still together. They're still thriving and they're still a fabulous couple. That was a really fun one to like drop in there. And I've seen so many people now like screenshot it and pick it up and be like, PSA, very important news, they're still together. That was a very fun little like Easter egg.
So going back to kind of Exo Kitty, going back to Kitty and her feelings, like her feelings for Yuri literally came out of nowhere, just crashed into her, and now she's kind of questioning what label she should attach to herself in terms of like her sexuality. And in terms of that scene, and in thinking about today's society and how sexuality can be such a hot button for people, what do you think that scene means for people kind of maybe going through those similar feelings themselves?
I think it's really powerful and be very comforting to see somebody who doesn't have the answer. It's not like she's finding herself and then she finds it. She's like still finding it, and it's a process, and she doesn't have to attach herself to a label like you said right away, or she doesn't know, and she's talking to her dad about it. And that seems one of my favorite scenes in the whole series is when she talks about it with her father, and he's very accepting, and he immediately just wants her to be safe, and he knows that she's okay, and he's like, everything else we'll figure out, it doesn't matter, I just want you to be be okay. And that is such a like touching thing to see on screen. And I hope parents can see that, and I hope kids can see that, and people just, and hopefully it opens conversations and opens positive mindsets, because it was very special. I know that's not everybody's experience either. So it was really cool to have that portrayed in her journey.
I think it's really interesting as well that you don't often get like father-daughter relationships talking about their feelings as well, and also having to talk about sexuality. That's often very much like, sometimes it's seen as the mother's territory, or sometimes it's, we don't talk about this. And I wondered what you felt how important you felt that message was coming through.
I really loved and appreciated that scene. I was really excited when I first read it that's how we were going to do it and how we're going to portray it. I agree with what you said, and that's a great point, that often it's not a father-daughter conversation that we see all the time in media, which is really cool, because I mean, it means a lot to know that can happen, and have like, I hope in the future, like people can see that, and it can be a positive thing, and it can be accepted with love, and there are families that can react like this with their daughters. I honestly was just really, really touched by it and really excited about having that in our show, and I hope viewers feel the same way.
There's a moment in the airport where Kitty's about to express her feelings to Yuri. Then Yuri's girlfriend comes and Kitty kind of just fades in the background. Now, I picked up on a little look from Yuri, a little over the shoulder look at Kitty again. Do you think that she's now questioning her feelings for Kitty, or was she just simply curious about what Kitty had to say?
I don't know. I mean, that moment, it's a lot of Kitty realizing that this is not her time to do that. This is not her place. She's learned to like not meddle and not get into people's business the same way that she used to. And she sees Juliana and sees how happy she makes Yuri, so decides that she needs to just walk away. And I think Yuri is very kind of caught in the middle of it. Of course, that was like, she's so curious, but also this is her girlfriend who she loves so much, and it's so excited to see her. So I think there's just a lot of emotions that are very up and down, very high for honestly every character in that last episode. There's like crazy things that happen. Like those last few minutes, it's like, if this happened in real time, like to me personally, I would just like collapse. This is so much going on, but it's great. It's very fun to watch.
I would have had a complete meltdown. I don't think I would have handled it as Kitty. So
no, me neither. Me neither.
If you were going to give younger Kitty from To All the Boys some advice based on Kitty's character at the end of her Exo Kitty journey, what would that advice be?
Ooh, I've never had this question. I like it. I feel like one, that she has so many exciting things ahead of her, and to just look forward to the future, and to tell her younger self that she's gonna find incredible parts of herself and her past that she doesn't even realize at the moment, which I think is always something really sweet to remind herself that there's amazing things ahead, and sometimes you can't see that. As well as, I mean, it's so cheesy and everybody always says this, but like enjoy the uncomplicatedness as well, and enjoy where you are at in your current life, because I think Kitty in the movies is in a very special moment in her journey and in her path, and just to embrace it.
Yeah, and she's never going to get that back. So this is like a moment that she can freeze frame in her life. So this is,
totally.
I mean, kind of a very special journey. So Exo Kitty has more of a Kdrama feel to it. Was that important in terms of separating its identity from the movie franchise?
Yeah, I mean, what's fun is we're kind of creating a new world in a universe that already exists. So there's parts that are established, but being a brand new environment and being fully in Korea with a new cast and a whole new storyline definitely creates that new world, which is really fun. And yeah, the K-drama style and genre was just a great way to have that fusion between the two worlds and between different genres, as well as Kitty's literal like geographical world is changing and she's in a new place. So that was definitely a great way to help portray that.
And obviously Kitty didn't just go to Korea for a boy. She went to find out about her mother. She went to find out about her mother's journey. But it kind of ended up revealing more about Yuri's family and Yuri's family dynamic. Do you kind of wish your character got more time to learn about her mum or discover more things? Is that something you were hoping for?
I mean, I hope if we get to continue this story that she can continue that journey and keep finding new things. But I think it is kind of a great representation of things not going the way you'd expect. And in so many ways, one is her love life, but also one she has a line at one point where she's like, I found some things I definitely did not think I would find, and that paths can constantly be changing, and you never really know what's going to happen next, and that just all adds to the growth that she has in the season of realizing how much is out there and how much there is to discover.
Yeah. What has surprised you most about fans' reaction to the show?
Oh, honestly, how fast it's been. It was really crazy and cool to watch. Like, one day after it came out, there were already tons of edits about everything and so many comments and people being like, I've already watched the whole season twice. I'm like, how is that possible? It just came out. Like, incredible dedication from viewers, and that means so much and is so crazy to see that people are connecting with it and are so passionate about it and are so engaged in all of it. And that, like, I will totally just like go down a rabbit hole and watch all the edits and be on TikTok and see everybody's thoughts, because it's so fascinating to finally get to share it with people and see their reaction. It's like, it always feels so self-centered though. I'm like, I'm literally watching edits of myself, but I like love seeing what they care about and what viewers are noticing.
I mean, those edits are very addictive, I will say. I have been down that rabbit hole. It's so fun. Do you know what really surprised me though was the fact that everybody seems to be shipping Kitty and Minho. Like,
yes,
it's the thing.
Yeah, it's definitely like seems like a consensus from a lot of people. That was, I mean, I knew that people would like their storyline, because enemies to lovers is always fun to see, and having a dynamic change so much from when they first meet each other, not being a fan, to then literally saying I'm in love with you, like that is always so fun. And I mean, I just think Day and Kitty have such a sweet relationship and have such a different dynamic that it shows a different part of Kitty, and I think viewers just want to see a new side as well, because it's kind of it goes along with her constantly moving journey. So I'm honestly wasn't super surprised that people loved their relationship, but it is really fun to see everybody's thoughts.
I mean, I was surprised. I mean, I wasn't surprised that he had feelings for her, but that look at the end that she gives him, I was like, does she have feelings for him?
Everyone is picking it up. It's so, it makes me so happy that I'm like, people notice the details. Like, I've literally seen people like zoom in and put this in slow motion. Like, she smiled. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's incredible that you are noticing all these details and the subtle things. But I mean, I think Kitty honestly is just smiling at the like, what the heck is happening, and the realization that truly so many possibilities are like being opened right now. And I've said like doors are being closed, open, cracked, half open, like so many things are shifting. And I think that's just her like looking forward to this wild next chapter, and she's getting on the plane to go home, and she's like, that did not just happen. So I feel like at the moment that is what her smile is about, but she could know something I don't. It's also possible.
Well, now that the show is kind of established in its own right with its own fan base, do you think that there are any chances for a Lara Jean, Peter Kavinsky, Margot cameo coming up? Would you like to see them pop up in Exo Kitty?
I mean, there's so many possibilities for the future of what could happen if we continue this story, that I'm excited for what could happen next. But I mean, I'm so proud of this whole cast and everything that they're doing now, and I'm always watching them soar, and I'm so happy for them.
Well, obviously, if there is a season 2, Kitty will be returning to Kiss. How could she not? How would you like to see her journey kind of change and grow and shape as she goes back to Kiss?
I mean, if she does get to return to the school, I think she will be coming back in a very different position, because she's no longer the new girl, and she knows a lot of people. She's established a position in that world, so that already makes such a big difference. And I think just learning more about her mom, I think she would love to do, and I would love to see what that looks like and what she can discover. And just, I mean, her living situation, I feel like might be different. I think that probably would not end up happening now if all the teachers know and stuff, even though that was honestly one of my favorite parts of the season, is that whole dynamic of the four of them is so much fun. So I mean, just I think at the core of it, she's different now. So if she returns, she would be coming at it from a different angle, which would be really fun to see.
Were there any like particular scenes that were really special to you throughout your Exo Kitty journey? Was there anything you were like, oh, I really love that scene, I really appreciate that scene?
I mean, I think the one with her dad is one of my favorite scenes, and like is the one that really stands out in episode 10, where they have such a special moment that is not to be taken lightly. I feel like that can mean so much to so many people, and the way it's handled was really special, as well as to see her vulnerable. Kitty, I think, often tries to be, she's very perky, she's very energetic, so you don't always see her feeling so low and feeling down and letting herself feel like that, because she's used to being the one with crazy high energy. So that was a very, very special scene for sure. And I was excited to see it as well when it came out. When I finally got to watch the show, I was really looking forward to seeing how it turned out.
I think the fashion in the show is incredible. Kitty gets to wear some really incredible pieces. What was kind of like one of your favorite pieces to wear?
Ooh, I mean, the uniforms are so fun, and I think everybody looks adorable in them. The very first day we got to like see each other in our costumes,
Yeah.
we were all freaking out and hyping each other up and being like, "Why do you look so cute? Why do you look so cute?" That's like my favorite outfit, and I definitely tried to steal it when I left. I was like, "Can I just like take an extra blazer? Can I take the skirt? Because I will wear them." It didn't happen, not success this time, but I will keep trying.
Hey, season 2, we're hoping for it, so you never know.
For everything, yes.
I think someone picked up on the fact that the colors that Yuri and Kitty wear were like colors of the pan flag. Is that something that was intentional, or was that just a happy accident?
Oh, that's so cool that people are noticing these things. I think that might be a question for wardrobe and for the people who made the decisions of what we were wearing, but I was not aware of those decisions. So I don't think it would have been a conscious thing. But that's really cool that happened and that people are noticing.